The Chicago Sky thought they were building around a star. They thought Angel Reese would be the foundation, the face of their franchise, the player who could turn their fortunes around. But instead of rising into that role, she's now the center of a storm threatening to tear the locker room apart. It all started with an interview in which Reese made it clear she wasn't satisfied. She wasn't willing to go through another offseason with the same roster. She didn't want bums brought in around her. She wanted the best of the best, the upper echelon. Bold words for a player still in her early years, words that might have carried weight if her play had matched them. But the irony is hard to ignore. Angel Reese leads the league in turnovers despite missing weeks with injury. She struggles to finish at the rim. She just earned herself a suspension. She demanded upgrades to her teammates. But the uncomfortable truth is that her franchise might need an upgrade at her position. Those comments to the Chicago Tribune weren't brushed off as harmless frustration. They landed like grenades. Teammates were furious. Veterans around the league saw them as disrespectful. A team meeting reportedly had to be called just to address the fallout. That isn't leadership, it's damage control. And one of the players caught in her crosshairs was Courtney Vandersloot, a respected veteran point guard and champion whose pedigree in the WNBA is unmatched. Reese dismissed her with a wave, saying they couldn't rely on her at her age. That stung. Not just because Vandersloot has earned respect, but because veterans everywhere took note. This wasn't a rookie learning to lead. This was immaturity spilling out in public, and it wasn't like the Sky had ignored Reese's demands before. They made real sacrifices for her. They traded away Sonia Citron, a rising rookie who became an all-star almost immediately, to bring in Ariel Atkins, a proven guard with championship experience. That was supposed to be the kind of move that showed the front office believed in Reese. Instead of showing gratitude, she acted like the team was standing still. She called for more, and in the process alienated teammates young and old. Haley Van Lith caught strays too, with Reese implying the young core wasn't ready to win. Suddenly the entire locker room looked fractured, with one common denominator, Reese herself. The worst part for her is that the numbers don't back her up. Yes, she averages a double-double, but beneath those raw stats is chaos. 101 turnovers in just 26 games, leading the league in giveaways despite playing fewer minutes than most stars. 20% of her shots inside 9 feet getting blocked. Constant technical fouls piling up until she hit the automatic suspension threshold. Her 8th technical was the final straw, keeping her out of a crucial rivalry game against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Fans circled that matchup for weeks. The league hyped it. And Reese sat out, not for rest, not for injury, but for losing her composure and striking an opponent. That's not the mark of a leader. That's the mark of a liability, and that's where the real irony shows. Chicago often looks sharper without her. The ball moves better, the defense tightens, the energy rises. The supposed cornerstone drags them down, and the team finds life when she's off the floor. That's the opposite of a franchise player. Fans are asking out loud whether she's the problem. Analysts are calling her a hoax, a player whose hype outweighed her impact. And in the middle of all that, she's the one pointing fingers at everyone else. Contrast that with Caitlin Clark. While Reese was alienating her teammates, Clark was lifting hers. Despite dealing with injuries, Clark traveled with her team, sat on the sidelines, cheered them on, and kept the locker room together. Her presence wasn't just felt in games, but in the culture of Indiana. She praised opponents, even Reese herself, instead of feeding drama. She set a tone of professionalism in every interview, every practice, every timeout. And on the floor, she didn't just score. She made Aaliyah Boston dominant. She created spacing for Kelsey Mitchell. She helped Sophie Cunningham thrive. She turned a lottery team into a playoff contender in just one season. That's the difference. One player demanded more and tore her team apart in the process. The other lifted her team with patience, professionalism, and playmaking. Indiana is selling out arenas, smashing TV ratings, and grabbing national attention with Clark at the center. Chicago is watching a rebuild collapse into a circus of drama. Fans in Indiana are excited about the future. Fans in Chicago are wondering if their front office made a mistake. Reese wanted the Sky to bring her the best of the best. But what if the biggest problem was her all along? How do you demand greatness while leading the league in turnovers and getting suspended at the worst time? How do you claim leadership when your own teammates are calling meetings to deal with your words? At some point, Chicago has to ask the hard question. Is Angel Reese the future, or is she the problem holding them back? Let us know down in the comments below if you're Team Clark, the baby goat, or Team Reese, the baby giraffe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out on what's coming next. Click the video on your screen right now, and we'll see you in the next one.